The Army 2023 forum is now open.
Congratulations.
But is there really anything to congratulate? This time, even in Russia, the country's largest annual arms exhibition was criticized. New products that year after year just sit on display stands but never go into mass production. Inflatable churches, pointless robots, and of course, a special corner for captured Western equipment, so that all of Russia can see its power is undeniable. The imagination of Russian engineers resulted in the forum not featuring a single, conceptually new piece of military equipment. All the tanks, anti-aircraft missile systems and other equipment are mostly just modifications of old Soviet models. An increase in range by a few kilometers is presented by the designers as an incredible achievement.
In other words, they took something from the Soviet Union, tweaked it a bit, polished it up, and presented it as some kind of know-how, a wonder weapon that's supposed to amaze everyone everywhere.
And of course, no Russian military gathering would be complete without the regular guest, the T-14 Armata tank. For the third year in a row, it has demonstrated its might only at exhibitions and parades. In the 17 months since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, it still hasn't appeared on the front lines. After all, if a tank costing $8 million, whose main advantages are its Western components, were to be destroyed, it would be simply impossible to repair it under the current sanctions. But when Russia tries to create something from scratch on its own, this is what happens.
Well, this is definitely a car of the future. Interesting. I've never seen anything like it. I should stop here and take a look, but there's no information about it at all.
This ridiculous little coffin on wheels with a machine gun on top, according to the engineer's concept, is a remote-controlled firing platform. However, in the equipment presented, the remote control module itself is missing. And it's like this with literally everything. For example, at the forum, they showcase the pride of Russian aviation for the first time, the 5th generation Su-57 fighter jet. You'd think the evil West should be trembling in fear. A wide array of weapons, modern avionics, onboard systems capable of countering air defenses and striking both air and ground targets simultaneously. But despite such flashy packaging, billions of rubles have once again gone down the drain.
That same 5th generation checkmate jet, just something else, truly unparalleled. They've only made, I think, 10 of them in total. They have a major problem with the engine. They just can't manage to refine it. If a machine's engine doesn't work, then the usefulness of that machine is 0.0.
Robotics at the forum deserves special attention. Following last year's performance with the mechanical dog, they decided not to lose face this year either. Military reindeer herder Sergei Kuzhugetovich clearly did not expect such a breakthrough in domestic technology.
Hello, Comrade Minister of Defense of the Russian Federation. I am the intelligent assistant for military education, for robot Alyosha.
And here's another cutting-edge military development. A robot originally designed as a welder, turned out to be a drinking buddy robot.
Of course, you definitely need 2 people for this, a partner. We clink glasses like this, and then you can have a drink.
Another Russian tradition is embodied in the latest masterpiece of military engineering, a mobile inflatable church. Inside the tent, there are plastic icons attached with Velcro, 2 sleeping berths, a refrigerator, and a toilet, which, by the way, started leaking during the demonstration. The idea of placing an image of Christ among the Z and V symbols sparked a wide reaction online.
The inflatable church should be equipped with inflatable nuns because they could liven up the monotony of the prayer chants.
Quite a bit of equipment couldn't be brought to the exhibition at all. Mainly because some of it has already been destroyed in Ukraine, and what remained was urgently sent to the front to hold back the Ukrainian offensive. For example, the notorious Panzer air defense system is represented at the exhibition by plastic models.
It will detect absolutely every target.
The target detection station can find targets within an 80-kilometer radius.
Also, some of the new products from the Russian military-industrial complex are presented only on paper. Diagrams, tables, computer graphics, in short, as prospective projects.
But there's no guarantee that it will go into mass production, that it will have a production run. That is, you can make one prototype, two prototypes, like the Armata tank, but they never went into mass production. They're not being forced to keep making the old models, which aren't particularly advanced.
The most useful exhibit at the show turned out to be a mannequin of a wounded soldier. Apparently, after realizing that Russian soldiers mostly end up looking like this after encountering the Ukrainian armed forces, they decided to start preparing medics in advance for what they'll have to deal with in Russian hospitals. By the way, there were also not many guests this year. Most of the delegation arrived from African countries. A special corner of grandeur was dedicated to Western equipment, spotless armored personnel carriers and vehicles, looking as if they just came off the assembly line, which are claimed to have been captured on Ukrainian territory. Anyone who wishes can personally spit on the NATO equipment, thereby demonstrating their own greatness and superiority over the evil capitalists.
Essentially, look, this is lightly armored equipment that can't withstand criticism or serious fire.
Obviously, inspired by the Ukrainian exhibition of destroyed Russian equipment, the organizers clearly overlooked the main point. We put on display only what no longer has any real military value. The equipment that can still be used is actively destroying the Rashists at the front.
So the Russians captured Ukrainian equipment, yes, Western made. They can't actually use it. They dragged it to Moscow, washed it, put it on display, but they can't operate it. There are no munitions, no spare parts, no skills to use it. But when Ukrainians capture Russian equipment, they can't use it either. They quickly clean it up, fix it, and send it right back into battle.
But when it's not about a real show of force, but just for show, you end up with the Army 2023 Forum. All the modern equipment displayed at the exhibition is actually produced by other countries, like China or Iran. As for what is considered Russian, it was actually developed back in the Soviet Union and can only impress rather simple-minded Russians, for whom appearances have long since become more important than substance.
I don't know how thick its armor is, but look at the size of its barrel.
The same experts who came to the exhibition not just to gawk but to actually purchase advanced weaponry left empty-handed. The main customer for all these military creative masterpieces turned out to be the Russian Ministry of Defense. As for foreign orders, this year they hit an all-time low.
Last year, foreign buyers signed contracts with Russia worth 2 billion euros. This year, contracts were signed for 600 million euros. So that's 2.5 times. No, actually, more than 3 times less. Well, there's your answer to the question.
But do the broad masses in Russia really care about that? Once again, they were shown tanks and cannons, and once again, they were told that nothing like this exists anywhere else. And once again, they were reminded of the greatness of Russian weaponry. What shoots and how it shoots stopped interesting the average Russian a long time ago. The Russian desire to take a photo with a tank, that's the main reason. Why such exhibitions will keep happening, even when Russia is running out of equipment.
This is the best response to sanction enthusiasts and destructive forces who create tension, sow chaos and disorder.
We'll share even more facts and news about weaponry in our next episode. So give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. So you don't miss new episodes of Arsenal.